took it off. He said, I need some speed. I want to feel the wind.
And I got great hair.
Another endorsement coming.
Double as Ohtani sees in right field. Castellanos has got it. Oh, he loses the helmet. Gary Matthews style. What in the Sarge is going on there?
Dave, yesterday, when you look at the offense, obviously it was a really strong pitching matchup with Michael King and then the bullpen. But for your offense, you did have 10 base runners. For you, was that a good sign that this offense is still on track, or was yesterday a concerning sign in regard to just how the offense broke out over the weekend?
I think more optimistic. I think that King had good stuff yesterday, and for us to still create some opportunities. And you know, you look at the Muncy ball, the Tucker play, obviously the Shohei, that kind of wide throw from the catcher. There's some opportunities, and even in the ninth inning, we stranded a couple guys. So I think that's encouraging. You know, we've seen Canning here over the years a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, how he's come back from his surgery and things like that. But for our guy, I think Emmett is trending in the right direction. I think his last outing was the best one he's had all year, so it's going to be fun to see him tonight.
In that last one for Emmett, what stood out to you, just making it his best one of the season?
I think holding the fastball velocity, I thought was a good thing. I thought he used the curveball when he needed to. I thought the slider was really a big pitch for him that game, and then also just the commanding of the fastball. So I think all elements in total were good.
Has Freddie looked a little sluggish to you the last 5 or 6 days?
Right now, the last couple days, he's been a little bit under the weather. I do feel that, you know, he seems a little bit not as rested than he normally has. So, yeah, he's. I don't really know, but I do know that if he's not getting a whole bunch of hits, he's not happy, and he looks a little bit tired. But I think right now it's because he's not feeling well.
What went through the clubhouse over the last few weeks?
I don't think it's to that extent, but I do know that he was kind of feeling it the last few days. Yeah.
What did you hear about Snell's procedure, and do you guys have a timeline yet, or even a rough idea of what that's looking like?
It went well, as well as to be expected. I guess the nano thing was a good thing, obviously, and so the recovery is cutting, you know, much shorter. I don't have a timeline. I just know that it's shorter than we initially anticipated. Texted with him today and wished him well, and he's in good spirits and excited to get back to playing.
So like shorter than maybe like Diaz's timeline?
I would say certainly, yeah.
Dave, we talked about the importance of the six-man rotation and keeping your guys healthy. Two-parter, do you know where Eric Lauer is going to slot in yet? And is there any arm with this group of guys that you feel comfortable on traditional rest if needed?
I think that Eric made it in town. He's obviously active today. I think our plan is to have him start on Tuesday. Be available potentially tomorrow, depending on how tonight goes. But the thought is for him to start Tuesday. I think Emmett's a guy that we feel can handle like some regular days rest. Yeah, you know, guys like Shohei, Yamamoto, and Roki. I think Robo needs some extra rest as well. So I think where we're at, and I'm not too sure with Lauer.
What did you think of Mason Miller these days?
Yeah, I mean, we had him, you know, we had him early. You know, obviously he helped us with some walks, and the catcher's challenge at 1-0 was a big one. If he goes 2-0 right there to Will, it might have been a different inning. But it was a great challenge, and he got back into the count, and, you know, that kind of high-octane stuff, you know, it's tough to get some hits.
Yeah, he also said the pitching coach pointed out a flaw in his motion, so he readjusted on his forward and his leg, and that's what changed the mechanics of it later after.
Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. He's he's a good pitching coach, and good in-game adjustment.
Dave, how do you see the relation with Freddie and days off this year? Have you had the conversation with him about maybe giving him some rest days out of the lineup this season?
Well, I think he took 2, right, with the baby, and then he took another one the other day. So I think that right now we've already kind of got, so that's 3 already in less than 2 months. So we're I think we're on it. We're going to stay on top of it though too. Yeah.
Did you guys point out anything under the hood that they can tap into, Lauer?
I'm sure they have. I'm not privy to it right now. But obviously when we acquire somebody, there's always stuff that we feel potentially there's some opportunity.
Yeah, kind of speaking of like conversations with guys, it's kind of curious where, I don't know if you've noticed, but Ohtani's kind of been kind of like actively trying to downplay the links between the pitching and the decreased hitting. And the other day in Anaheim, he got asked, did the days off help? And he basically said, no, I had it figured out before then. Is there any need to have a larger conversation? I'm kind of wondering with him just about kind of his role and stuff, just because.
Not at all. There's not a player that's going to really admit to time off is better. I think that with any player, there has to be some sense of, feeling like you can manage it. And so to need an admission, that doesn't help me. It's only probably for the media or the fans. I mean, I don't need it, because I still know that my process is sound. I confer with the player, and that's kind of how I go about it.
I mean, you don't think he needs any kind of reassurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
From the time he was like 18, this has been a question, right? About
He's a big boy. He's going to be all right. He'll be just fine.
Dave, I feel like we've had so much talk about their bullpen, but tonight, your bullpen, how do you just describe what you were able to see from those guys, how they battled, passed the baton, and really shut down the Padres lineup?
It was great. Yeah, I mean, each man did their job. Asked a little bit more of Tanner tonight. But yeah, they were ready when called upon and got big outs for us. And it was good to see, guys like, obviously Will, what he did for us last year, but here in a regular season game, seeing Edgardo was really good to see. We saw Kyle Hurt last night. So it's good to see some guys kind of come of age as well. But yeah, they did a fantastic job. And Emmett went short tonight. I just felt that that's all, he was going to give us tonight, and the guys in the pen did their job.
With the at-bat for Andy Paz up against Mason Miller, what are you seeing from him there? And did that just kind of feel like a culmination of everything he did this offseason to put himself reading pitches, fouling things off, and just putting himself in a position to be successful?
I think the work that he's put in, I think kind of showed itself right there. But I think at the end of the day, it was just fight. It was just will, determination, and that's why, for me, it's just kind of the compete and not worrying about mechanics and, this and that. It's just me versus you. And it was him versus Mason Miller, and he wasn't going to lose that battle. And Mason's the best in the game right now. And, Andy he willed himself to do something productive in that at bat.
What do you have to do to be able to fight off like 102 and the sliders that he mixed in and still be able to kind of hit the ball as hard as he ended up doing on the...
It's fight or flight. It really is, and that's the beautiful thing about when you can kind of step back and watch an at bat right there, and it's a fight. And Andy's a tough kid, and he's hungry, and so I think that's what when you get all your guys to feel that at bat is the most important thing in your life at that moment. That's what happens, and that's what that was his only focus, that at bat, and it was just desire. He willed himself, in that at bat.
Dave, when you're watching that at bat continue on, Andy said it was more of as he felt it was going on, his confidence was growing while Mason's might have been slowing down. When did you feel like the momentum was shifting towards Andy's side?
When he took a curveball down below, and it was a pretty good pitch, and he just checked off of it. I felt that if he could check off on that pitch, he shortened his swing within that at bat to be able to spoil 101, 102. Wasn't cheating to it. But once he took that curveball down below, I felt like he was gathering information on the fastball, saw the shape of the breaking ball, and then I felt like he had a good shot.
What was going through your mind on the play with Call and the pickoff throw that got away?
Yeah, he does a lot of tendencies, and Alex took a chance, and we got a break there. But it was good that we got a break, and we took advantage of it.
What does it do for a team to beat an unbeatable closer?
Yeah, I mean he's great, and no one's gotten him. We feel good about our guys, and still the game plan is to keep him out of the game. That's still the plan, but I still felt that in 2 nights seeing him, we put together some good at bats, to stress him a little bit.
What was it like seeing Freddie's swing really click today?
It was great. It was great. He came in today feeling, energized, and to go the other way with the homer, and then to hit one pull side off a changeup, which is really a good pitch down below. It was good to see that, and it was nice also to see him smile a little bit.